Hello there everyone, my name is and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. And today in this video of Learn Creo from Zero, we will be starting our Sketcher module. And this video can be quite longer because of the Sketch module. If you have any kind of doubt, you can comment. I will try to reply you as soon as possible. Now let's get started. So we need to run Creo parametric application. There are so many applications, but they have got their own purpose. But here we need to run Creo parametric because a lot of time, we got confused like which one we should run, like Creo direct or Creo view or Creo simulate. So we need to run Creo parametric. So let's just open this. Now here we can see our application got open. So this is our interface. Whenever we open Creo, we will see this kind of screen. Maybe you will see one or two more screen because in my last video I disabled extra browsers and the pop-up. You can also, if you also want to disable them, you can see my previous videos about how we can disable them. Okay, so the thing is we are going today is to start our sketcher. So we can do Ctrl+N or we can click here at new. There are several ways to start. Like here we can see the same thing here, and if we click here on file, we can see the same tool in 3 places. Basically it's all depend on you, how you want to do it, how you want to start. Like you can even press Ctrl+N, as you can see shortcut in bracket, and we will see other shortcuts also in interface, and those shortcuts are also inside those brackets, as we can see here. Now there are 2 ways to activate the sketch. First one is we can directly plot sketch in Sketcher module, but I guess it is good, like we can create a separate sketch, but we have same sketch inside our part. And because we are using 3D software, so most of the time we will be creating 3D part here, and with the help of Sketch. Obviously, because this is a parametric software, we need a proper locked sketch, with the help of whom we gonna perform certain operation like extrude, sweep, revolve, and others. Now we can give our part a name. Like I want to give him example sketch. But keep one thing in mind: whenever you are writing name in PTC Creo, you cannot give space, because let me just show you. If I type like this, it will show illegal character. Here we need to give underscore, and unfortunately there is no another option or a special character that is available or eligible in case of PTC Creo compared to other software, because I don't know why this is, but this is. So now if you want to know about the templates, then in my previous video I talk about the templates, how we can customize our templates and how we can create our own template. Now I don't want to waste again time here, because this video is specific for Sketcher. If you want to know about the template, then you can see that I have linked this video also in my description, or you can see the playlist also. And now we will hit OK. Now here you can see our own customized templates. I have already defined or predefined my material. which is low carbon steel, and here you can see XYZ Corporation and example sketch, my part name. And with that, we also have added 3 axes. A lot of time I need to make a plane, or maybe for other reasons a lot of time we need axes, so totally depend on what we actually want from our template. Now here is our sketcher tool. There are so many ways to activate sketch. I will tell you the most simple one. From version 4 onward, we simply can select the plane and the shortcut. Now here come like how you're gonna know what is shortcut for sketch, what is shortcut for other tools like for extrude or for any tool. So just hover your cursor over that particular tool, like for sketch, the shortcut, as we also have seen in case of new, Ctrl+new is the shortcut for a new tool. Similarly for sketch tool, our shortcut is S. So how we gonna activate our tool? We can click here and then can select plane, and we can click here. This is one way. Okay, let me show you again. Your plane will be like this. We can click here, and then this pop-up window appears as soon as we click on sketch. Now here it is asking us like which is your sketching plane, in which you want to create your sketch. So we can select it from here or from here, depend on you, but I will recommend you to select from here so that you can easily identify like which one is my front plane or which one is top. It is easier here. We can also enable the plane tag display, like you easily can know like which one is your front plane because the name of the plane will come here. Or you can hover your mouse again. Here you can see like this one is my front plane or this one is my right plane. You just need to hover your mouse, but I would recommend you to just select it from left side. Like here I want to select front plane, so I have clicked here front. Now you can see the sketching plane is front and the reference is right plane for this. So this one is our reference plane, and this one is our reference plane right, and this one is our front plane. Now if you want to orient it, you can orient it. Like if you want to rotate this thing left, right, top, bottom, you can do it. But right now let it be as it is. It was top, I guess. And now I'm clicking sketch, and you can see we are in sketcher mode. All the tools are of sketches. So this was one way to get into sketcher mode. Now let's just discuss my most favorite way to get into sketch, and I guess it is one of the most shortcut one, and you guys also will like that. Okay, so in how we're gonna escape this sketcher mode is by clicking here on cancel, and yes, so we are back again. We have just exited our sketch. The best way is just click here, like you want to work in front plane, and press the shortcut button. Like we know shortcut for sketch is S, so I'm gonna press S. So you can see, boom, we are in sketcher mode. No more pop-up, no nothing. It is as simple, and most of the time it will work for you. If you want to customize, then we have got options, like we later on can decide like if you want to rotate your plane or you want to do something. So how we gonna customize that, I will just show you. Let me just enable the plane tag display so that it will be easier for you guys, like which plane is which. So okay, now I just want to show you. You can see this one is my top plane, this one is right, and I'm working in front. Now I will just go back here by clicking sketch and sketch setup, and you can see here again we recall the same pop-up menu which we just skipped because I prefer to choose my shortcut. Now we can customize it, like if I want to change my orientation, then I can change it like this, whichever suits you. You can see like from here, from the name of the plane, you can see how it is rotating. Now here is the front, so you can rotate it as per your requirement. Most of the time you do not need to, but in case if you want, then you can do it, right? Also you have option to flip the plane. Let me just show you. If you want to make sketch from this direction, then you can make it because it is already this direction, but if you want to change your direction, then you can click on flip, and now you can see we have just flipped our plane like this. So you have got this option also available. Now we will click on sketch. Again, I just want to show you how easy it is, because I just wanted to explain you like how you can customize it, and I just want to again show you what is my most preferred way to do it. And you can also use it if you like. Just select plane and press S. So it is as simple, just 1 second. Also you can speed up your process by disabling the animation, because animation also takes some time. Now this is our model tree. In the left hand side, this thing is known as graphics toolbar, and this is our ribbon based interface. I will be making my next video about interface, or we will be learning about interface in coming videos, like about when we will discuss about the part modeling or maybe in assembly. Now so the first tool we already have discussed, like what the purpose of this. We can flip and customize our planes. We can decide the orientation, and we can also flip it. So it is all about that. We will learn about references later on more and more, but let me just make you a little bit aware of what actually reference is. Reference basically track our part in 2D. Like for example, I am making circle here, so it is the reference line from where the distance is being calculated. If I delete this, so I cannot track or locate my geometry or my entity in my 2D space. So we need at least 2 references to locate our geometry, or we will see what else we can do with these references and what are the entities we can define as a references apart from the datum plane. We can also define this 3D our 3D coordinate system as our reference. And as you can see here, right now we have defined datum axis, so I'm gonna delete it. But I just wanted to tell you, we can also define our 3D coordinate system as our reference system, and which is sufficient enough because this is 3D. This is our 3D coordinate system. So basically, coordinate system is sufficient enough. So in case of coordinate system, we do not need more than one reference, because we know like from coordinate system we can calculate. We can easily locate our sketch in 2D. So this was all about references. Now let's just talk about sketch view. Sketch view tool is located in 2 places. First place is this one here, and second is graphic toolbar here. So it's the, I guess, sixth tool from the right side, if you consider this as a right. So this is the 6th tool from right side, and from here it's the 3rd tool. and it is one of the most commonly used tool in Sketch, because most of the time we interact with our sketch, and we change the orientation, and our sketching plane is no more parallel to my screen. So what in order to make it parallel again, we can click here at sketch view, or you can click here at sketch view. Both the tool do same thing, as it is for our convenience. Like this particular tool is also added in graphics toolbar. And why this is added? Because let's suppose we want to work in full screen mode, and you have just tilted your plane, so you can easily use it. And this is, as I told you, one of the most commonly used tool. Now moving towards another tool. Just escape out from the full screen mode. This is file system tool. So what this tool basically do, like if you have got any sketch or in AutoCAD or in these formats, you can simply import that particular file. For example, I want to import DXF. Maybe I don't know whether I have it or not, but I will try to search, or even I can create it for you guys. Just give me a moment. Let's say, for example, I'm just creating these two rectangles, and I will try to save them as okay, right. So what I'm gonna do is, let's just extrude them. Okay, and I'm just creating a drawing of it, and then I will just saving it as a DXF. You guys don't focus on this, how this is happening, because I will just explain you later, like how we are doing this and that. Okay, A4, great. Now this one, yeah, this is enough. Scale. Okay, I have just made a very rough diagram. Now here we go. Okay, for example, this I'm just exporting it as a DXF because I don't have AutoCAD right now. So I'm gonna save it here, that the name is A as an example. We can actually save it as DXF, IGS. There are so many other formats also available, but right now I'm interested in saving it as a DXF. Okay, that's all. Now I'm gonna close it. Let me just delete this, and I will be just creating another sketch. Sketch. Now we are talking about this tool. We can click here in file system, and then you can see we have options of importing these tools. So we can select this one, import, and now you can click anywhere in space, and now you have option to scale it. I will make it 1 as it was, and then you can place it with the help of this center mark, like this. And you have furthermore options, like you can scale it up and down, and you can even rotate it, like it will rotate it anti-clockwise. Okay, so you can define it. So in this way you can actually import the AutoCAD tools, AutoCAD Sketch. Also you can select like which particular or specific you want to have, but we will do it later on. So basically what this particular tool do is we can import any geometry from AutoCAD, or we have got several options, like here we can see. Now let's just cancel it for a while. Now this is basically a selection tool. We can select it with the help of this. Now these are centerline, point, and coordinate system. We can create our another coordinate system if you want it. You can use it, but we're gonna talk about these later on in upcoming videos. And then here is a construction mode. We will see what construction mode do in our video later on. Now starting with line first. These are the basic sketching tools, which are mostly being used by us, and one of the commonly used tools in case of Sketcher module. Now starting with line. So in our start line, just click on line, and you just do not need to worry about like we worry about in case of AutoCAD. Like we need to define our first point in terms of X, Y, and Z, and then second point. Also now in new version of AutoCAD we can decide it later on, but in PTC Creo it's quite easy compared to AutoCAD and other 2D softwares, and it is completely like other 3D software because it's a kind of parametric. So we make our geometry first, and then we define the dimension and we define the value. So like we have selected line, and you can see here in bracket the L is the shortcut tool for activating this. If you really want to activate very fast, then you can just press L and this tool will got activated. Now click anywhere. Let's say for example I want to make a triangle. Now you can see here I am getting a kind of polar tracking. In AutoCAD we say polar tracking. So here you can see our line is getting snapped at 0 degree, and you can see there is a green and horizontal symbol in a square just in the right side of cursor. This is the constraint. So basically our software is intelligent enough, like if I want to make a horizontal line, it automatically give us a kind of polar tracking and offering us a constraint. We will talk about constraint here. So basically I just want to tell you that this is constraint, and now just click wherever you want to end, and now I will be starting from here like this. And then you even do not need to stop the tool, or you do not need to press escape, because I just want to make a triangle. So until I finish my sketch I do not need to press any other button. Just you can just continue doing it. Now the last point would be here. So I will again make a left click, and now what I can do to get exit from this tool is we need to press the scroll wheel of the mouse, or we can press escape. If you press escape, the thing will be same. If you press scroll wheel button, the thing will be same. Now again you need to press skip so that you can exit from the tool as well. First of all, we have exited from we have just finished our line by pressing escape. Then again by pressing escape we exited from the line command. Now let us say, for example, I want to make a triangle having this this value as a 60 and the angle between here as a 30. So here 60 degree, and now I just want to make another angle in between these two. So just select these two lines by pressing Ctrl, and you can see this. You can see that like this small mini menu bar will appear, and you can select like options. There are so many options available here. So right now I just want to make angle between. I just want to make angular dimension, so we can select angular, and right now it have specified angular value of exterior angle. It show me the value of exterior angle, but I need interior, so I can change it. If we want, we can replace it, but it depends on you. Like if you are satisfied, you can simply give this value as 150, and it is again 30. And if you really want to make it if you really want to use it the interior value, then you can click on replace and again select the same line by pressing Ctrl and just press the scroll wheel, and here we go. Now we can define the base. Like the base we want is 10. Now we have properly defined our triangle. You can see all three dimensions are locked. In case of PTC Creo, there are three types of dimension. First one is weak dimension, which Creo create automatically. This thing is very unique to the software. Like you do not need to create dimension. Creo automatically create the required dimension in a such a way like our model is not over constrained or under constrained. Now we need to locate this triangle which is already fully constrained in our 2D plane. So we have got two references. As I told you before, I explained you about references before, and we're gonna talk about it later on as well. Now we can locate our triangle or our entity in 2D space. For example, I just want to make it 2.5, not like this, but I want value to be minus, or I want to shift it here, so I can also write minus in front of this thing like this, and I want it to be 0. Now you can see our model is completely our sketch is completely constrained. Not only the geometry is constrained, but we have also constrained our values in terms of x and y. Now this is one sketch that we have completely constrained this. Now there is another option called line tangent. What basically it does is it creates tangent between two curves. I will explain it later on. Now let's just go to another option, which is rectangle. Now again, we do not need to specify first corner or second corner. Just wherever you want to make a rectangle, you can simply make it. You have selected a rectangle tool. Click at any place and drag it and make an appropriate rectangle. Like now again, click left button of mouse. So now just we need to press escape so that we can exit from the rectangle tool. Now we can give it a dimension, like for example I want to make it 6, and here you can see like the dimension is being controlled by a constraint, so I will be deleting it. I will be talking about constraint later on, and let's just make it 12. Now this kind of rectangle is called corner rectangle. As you can see, I have started it by specifying a corner, then another corner, and now I can locate with the help of references like where I want it in my 2D space. Let's make it 0 and this one 5. And now I just want to clear these all entities so that we can see other entities, like how we can create them. And I will also show you how we can delete. You can just simply select this with the help of left mouse button. Just press and hold left mouse button and try to encircle all the entities that you want to delete. Now there are two ways to delete it, or two ways to select it. If you create this encircle from left to right, then you can see we are creating a selection circle with the solid line, which means that only entities which are encircled in this solid square will get selected. On contrary, when you try to create or when you try to select the entities from right side to left, now you will see the circle that we form is not of continuous solid line. Instead it is a kind of dash line, and you will see like whichever entity it touch, all the entity we got selected. Like this, you can see 3 entities got selected. And if I make this selection from left to right, only the entity which encircle or which come under this rectangle get selected. So you can use both of them. I mean, which one suits your requirement. Like for this particular case, I'm gonna choose this one from right to left, and it's quite easy to delete them. Okay, I have deleted my reference as well, so I would require 2 references, so I can go here and I'm gonna select this again back, and now you can see I have got 2 references. First one is the datum axis and another one is right plane. So I can delete this one because I need to select the plane. Again, I will be selecting my top plane as a reference. Now you can see here. Now I can close it. Again, sketch view so that I can make it parallel to my screen. And now we talked about the corner rectangle. And the next one is slanted. Just click on slanted, and as the name suggests, you can make a rectangle at certain angle like this. So this is my slanted rectangle. I need to give it a value. Let's say for example you want to give a width value, not this one. So what you can do, simply select any line, and here you can see length. This mini menu will appear automatically whenever you click, like this here. Okay, now I will be selecting this one, and you can also see how powerful the tool is. Like, I already got these constraints, like these 2 lines are parallel. As we can see here, it is showing us. And okay, we will talk about them later on. Now we can change the value like 90. Also, you do not worry about why my dimension is getting red and your one not, because in most of the time by default it will turn blue. Okay, I will let you know how you can change it to red, because in my previous video I talked about this one. Okay, I can show you. We need to go to option, and then here in Sketcher I have enabled a particular option, this one. Yeah, and if I uncheck this, now if I change any value, for example this one I want to make 110 degree, and now you can see, okay, still this thing is activated. Maybe I need to change my sketch, then I can turn it off. So basically this function do is whenever we modify the dimension, it lock that dimension automatically. Now okay, what I'm gonna do is let's just get out from the sketch, and now I will be just creating again. Now you will see how our dimension color changes. Like this one, I want to make it 160 for example. Okay, still it is showing us red. Let me just change the value here. Okay, I will be just closing this, erase no display, and option Sketcher. Okay, export configuration. Okay, well, let's just restart this thing. Now again, Creo, parametric. Okay, new. Now this time I just want to give it any name like XYZ, and here again sketch front plane and sketch, or we can simply just I want to show you, so I'm doing step by step, but you can also use the same procedure. Just select plane and press S, and you are good to go. Now I guess I have changed the value, so this time this will turn royal blue from sky blue instead of turning red. I hope so. And now you can see my dimension turned blue. Blue specifies like I have changed the value, and this is strong dimension, and you can see here by hovering my mouse cursor on it, the dimension is strong compared to these one. These are weak dimension because I haven't modified their values yet. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you, because if you didn't modify your settings, then you're gonna see the dimension turn blue instead of red. Okay, so the next option is center rectangle. Now most of the time you're gonna use this one instead of corner rectangle or slanted one, and this is the most commonly used one because it is center rectangle, and you only need to specify two values, and most of the time we make it because we want a kind of symmetry. Most of the time we will place this rectangle at the center, and you can see here we only need to specify two values instead of four, and it is very easy to manipulate. Like if I make this 30, so you can see how automatically it already have created a symmetry both sides, and the value increases or decreases both sides. Like let me make it 85. Okay, and let me just show you the difference between corner one and corner one. Let me create references again, one reference and another reference. Okay, now you can see here we need to maintain 4 values, but in case of center rectangle only 2. Now it is symmetric also, so it is quite easy to manage and control compared to corner one. Now I'm gonna delete it so that we can discuss about other entities and other tools. Again, same, top and right I want as a reference, because whenever I'm deleting the entities, reference also getting deleted. Now the last one is parallelogram. As the name suggests, we can make parallelogram. Just select it and place it first line. So in case of parallelogram, we know it very well, like there are opposite entities, they are parallel to each other, so we can easily form parallelogram. Now we can form it in any way, like here, and now we can simply give dimension. And this was end of rectangle tool. Now we're going to be talking about circle. In case of circle, we have got several way to create circle. First one is center point, which is quite easy, like you need to define your center. For example, I'm defining my center here, and you can form it like this, and then later on you can give the value, like I want to make it 50. Similarly, you can place it anywhere, but here you have placed it at the center, and you have a constraint, so you do not need to give the position value. But here we need to give this thing dimension. Also, you need to locate this thing in 3D space. So Creo automatically have created two X and Y values. Now you need to provide where actually you want to place. For example, 100 of X and 50 of Y. Now please keep in mind, whenever you change the value of a dimension, it turns blue, royal blue from sky blue, because this shows like this dimension is now strong. So which means like you can whenever you change the value, these value will not change. Whenever you change the value of weak dimension, they will be as it is, but you can actually change them like this. But if you lock these dimensions, now you cannot change them. Although this is not mandatory thing to lock all the dimension, but it is always good to have a locked sketch instead of the dimension which are not locked. But in case of PTC Creo, you can keep it as it is. It does not matter. You can extrude it, you can create whatever you want to create. Now we will be talking about the tangent, line tangent that we have left at that time, because I just wanted to be to discuss with you circles and arc also. But yes, I can show you what exactly this does, and you will have an idea we can how we can also use this with arc. Again, line, and this time you need to click here at this triangle, and then line tangent. Now you can see how easy actually to form a tangent. Like you can see the line is always tangent to the circle wherever I am placing and I'm moving my cursor. The line is always tangent to my circle, and it really don't matter like if I am placing it here, it automatically will create a tangent like this, and I do not need to worry about it. It automatically will create, and you can even see the tangent constraint sign. So it also confirms, like now in between these two entities the tangent formed. Okay, now we're gonna be talking about another type of circle. This one was center and point, And now the concentric, again we can create with the help of point and center and point. We can create concentric. Now click on concentric, and you require at least one arc, or not arc in this case because we have got another tool for arc concentric, one circle, so that we can create a concentric circle of that. Now let's just select this one, and you can see you just need to make a left click and you can form circle as much you want. So it was quite easy, just one click and you are done. Let's just delete them. Okay, I will be just undo because every time it is quite annoying to form references. Now the third is 3-point circle. It's quite useful when we want to form a circumcircle, or you want to pass your circle from the particular 3 points. For example, I'm just creating a circumcircle so that I can show you one of good use of 3-point circle, like this and like this. Okay, the third entity will be circle 3 point, and you can see I define 3 points and we are good to go. 3 point, and so you can see how easy it was actually. Now we're gonna talk about 3 tangent circle. So again, another good example is in circle. Just select 3 line to whom your circle should be tangent, and here we go. We can see these 3 tangent also confirm like my circle is perfect. Okay, so you can see how easy it is. Now again I will be selecting and deleting them. Arc, we have got several options like 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. And now we can specify the value of radius. Let's say for example 250. You can also move them like this. You can see you can locate it wherever you want to locate, and this also act as a tangent arc. You can see tangent and arc. So if I can use it as a 3 points or 3-point arc, and if I place this arc at the tangent, at the end of any line or any arc, so it's gonna be creating a arc which is tangent to my previous entity. As you can see here, the tangent constraint sign appears, which means like this entity is tangent to this arc. So it was also kind of quite easy to create this kind of thing. Now I will be selecting and deleting them. Also I can show you with the help of a line, and again the same tool, tangent arc, and now you can see the line and the arc which is tangent to the end, and we can give it a dimension, and we can locate it in 3D or whatever we want to do. So as I told you, it's quite good, or it's a quite better like if we lock it and then move it so that our value does not change. And we're gonna be talking about how we can create dimension, because right now we can see if I am moving this, so the thing that gonna be bad is is the arc length also changing. So I can even lock it the arc length. Okay, I don't want linear. Okay, radius is already given, so what actually I can do is I can click here, here, and here. I can convert it to arc length, and now I can give it to value, let's say 110, and I can lock it as well. Okay, we will be discussing this later on. Now the next thing is center and end. So it's a kind of like you need to define center like this, and then you can create a chord of certain radius, and if you know the center point and you want to create an arc from that center point, so you can use this one in that particular case. And again, this is quite similar to the circle tangent, 3-point circle, 3-point tangent, 3-tangent circle. So it is quite similar to 3-tangent circle. And then we have got concentric, which is again quite resemble with concentric circle. Only the thing is we're gonna make an arc instead of complete circle or complete. So I think I can show you, but these are really not so big topics. We can itself try, like I want to make a tangent arc which is tangent to these three lines, so we can create it like this. Also, in case of concentric, yes, we need to specify, yes, this is the arc, and now you can see how easy it is to define concentric arcs. It is quite same style as of concentric circle. Now we have got another option named as Conic. It is basically a kind of ellipse. You can see like we are forming it with, it's a kind of elliptical, I would say. This is generally used when we are creating kind of advanced profile. I have seen its utility in case of turbine. When we create a kind of turbine, that time I have seen people using this. So we can define like two values of angle and this radius. Now the next is ellipse. We have got two types of ellipse. First one is axis end, which means you can define the end point of ellipse and then you can draw it like this. You need to define major and minor, like you can define major axis and minor axis, and that is enough. But if you want to create an ellipse which is a kind of at center of my line or a place, then we can use this one instead of that one, like this. And if you want some kind of ellipse which start from the end of a line, so you can use this one. So both have got their purpose. Now we're gonna be talking about spline. As we know, this is the curvature continuous entity. Curvature continuous means the value of curvature is changing, the radius, the 1/r is changing at any point, and it is tangent. As you can see, it's a continuous line. We have got this thing is widely used when we want to create a surface, And we have got a separate module for that in PTC Creo, which is also known as interactive surface design extension. We will see this in more detail in that module when we will be reaching there. And in that one, maybe we can discuss this thing in a better way. But most of the time, this is a kind of non-parametric, or I will say this is a kind of partial parametric, because this thing is a kind of non-engineering. Like we can only define the curvature and the curve, and we have got several other options like the type of curve that you want to create, like C1, C2, C3 curvature continuous, C1, C2, like that. We will be discussing it later on. And most of the time in Sketch module, it does not have that much significant role, but you have this thing, so you can create, because now additive manufacturing has opened another dimension, and you want to create some profile which is kind of curvature continuous, so you can create it. But if I talk about in engineering terms, so it have got a little less applications. It's a more kind of styling tool. Now let's talk about Fillet. Fillet is basically you can create a radius at any corner. You can see here. I'm just doing, okay, no, I will not do undo, but I will show you with the help of another example here. There are two types of fillet actually. One is fillet, circular fillet, and another one is circular trim. The difference between both is only you don't have here any construction line, and here you have. These lines are known as construction line, and we're gonna be talking about them later on, because we have skipped that in our starting of our video, because of the reason, like, I need to discuss these tools first. So this is the only difference between both, and generally in case of PTC Creo, we most of the time we prefer to give fillet in 3D, not in 2D, because it is quite easy to manipulate if we are giving fillet in 3D. We will see later on, but as of now you can see how we can create radius, and you can change the value. For example 4.5, and you can also see they have created tangent, which is quite nice, and you can also define angle between them, and similarly XY. Now the next one is elliptical trim or elliptical fillet. It's a kind of ellipse, a quarter of ellipse, I would say. You can see here we need to specify a kind of major and minor dia, so to control the value of this elliptical fillet, and that's all. Now we will be talking about chamfer. So we have, again, like this, we have got two options, like chamfer and chamfer trim, and the difference between both is only the construction line. Chamfer, we have construction line, and in chamfer trim we don't have. I guess these are quite simple tools. So, and also if you have already done AutoCAD, you know them very well, and these are very simple, so no big deal. That's why we are just going ahead. But even if you have got any confusion regarding these sketching tools, you can simply make a comment, Now we're going to be talking about text. I will be creating a sketch here, an arc, and why I have created this arc, I will show you the utility of this text. Most of the time we use text in case of let's say for example, in case of die, I want embossing some kind of part number. In case of plastic part, injection molding part, we want some kind of symbol, or maybe it may have other utilities as well. So it's not like it is limited to these two, but I have used these two options most of the time in case of sheet metal parts and in case of injection molding parts. Now okay, I was out of the topic, I'm so sorry for that. And okay, click here, text, and you need to click anywhere wherever you want the text, and you need to go from down to up, not from up to down, so that you can create text in normal way, in normal fashion. If I go down, up to down, it will create the text in opposite direction. So you can choose, like, most of the time, not most of the time, if you are creating any kind of embossing, then this one is good for you. But if you are creating any molded part or something, product, then this one is for you. Depend, you are going to create a tool or a product. And even now you have 3D printer, so you can directly print your product, and you want to use text, you can use it. Now you can also use a parameter. Let's say a certain parameter you have created, you want to print that parameter. We're gonna be talking about parameter later on, so leave it for later. And now if you don't like this font, then you can install your own font in Creo library, and you can select another font like TTF font. I like this one because you can see the difference in curves, and you can choose anyone, whichever you like. Okay, now again, in order to edit these text, just you need to double click on them, and you will again be in editing mode. Now I'm just going to add 5, just like that. I mean, it's not okay. I will be deleting it because it is intersecting my another sketch. Now I will show you another features of it. I can place it at center, left and right, as you can see here. Center, left, right, from where we have started. Let it be left. Now you have got several other options like vertical, bottom, middle, top. So basically our starting and main pivoting point, we can say, is this one, which define like which one is left, which one is right. So according to this point, it is defining. Now we have got another option like aspect ratio. You can increase or decrease aspect ratio. Let's make it again 1. This is a kind of stretching, I would say. You can also define the slant angle, and both in positive and negative direction. And then there is a spacing tool, which you can define spacing in between both. Then we have got the option of placing our text along a curve. I'm gonna make them all 1. Just click on this option if you want to place this text along a curve, and select the curve. And here we go. As we can see here, I have selected this option, place along the curve, and then we need to make a left click on the curve, and our text is now on the curve. Now we have got all the options again available, like center, right, left, and the vertical position like middle, top, bottom. Not only that, you can, if you don't like it, you can even flip it like this. So we have got completely customizing option available. Now the last option is kerning. I have tried the use of this one, but the kerning, I explored it a lot, and most of the time I found it is not that useful. It is used to create, according to PTC. I tried to search why this option is available. I never use this option. According to PTC, it is for creating space between two parts. For example, not space, but it avoid this kind of thing, like these two characters are intersecting with each other. So what will happen, like this will not get converted to extrude, because in case of extrude we cannot extrude something which have got intersecting entities. We should have individual closed loops or regions like this one. Okay, so more or less I would say I tried to search and tried to find out the utility of this option. I'm not satisfied with the answer of PTC. Maybe if you know about this option, then please let me know in comment down below, and I would be really happy. Now the last option that got left is the text symbol. We can also add them, for example like this. So you can use any symbol from here. Most of them are kind of the kind of constraint, like constraint and GDNT symbol, like symmetry, cylindricity, run out. Now I'm gonna close this one again. Now again, I hope you understand how we can use the text tool, and if you have got confusion, then you can write. Now the next tool is offset tool. So what basically it does is, I'm just creating this line entity. I have created a rectangle, not rectangle, it's a quadrilateral. Okay, now offset, we're gonna click on offset. We have got three options. First one is single, chain, and loop. Let's start with first option, single. For example, if I want to offset, I want to create a line which is offset from this line at certain value. So I will be clicking on this line and this arrow, so the direction of line will be, if I enter here a positive number. For example, I want to create a line which is which is offset actually from this line in same direction. Just enter the value 5 and you can see. But if you want to create an offset opposite to this direction, then you need to give a negative value like -5. And as the name suggests, it only have created offset for a single entity which we have selected. Now I just want to delete them. The next option is chain. Now in case one thing is worth noting, like this is our taskbar, and you can see our taskbar also provide us information like what we should do Here it is asking us to specify a chain between by selecting two entities or two edges. Okay, so I'm gonna select. Now this one is my first and this one is my last. For example, I want to make an offset between these three entities. So what I will be doing, I will be selecting my first entity and the last entity, and the middle entities will automatically get selected. Now there may be possibility like I don't want these three, instead I want these three. So what I will be doing is click on next. Now it will suggest me another possible or feasible outcome, and this is quadrilateral. In this case we don't have enough option, only two feasible solution, therefore it is showing us two feasible result, and you can choose any of them. The green color, so like this one is selected. For example, in this case I want to select this one only, so I will click accept. Now again the same situation. If you want outside, then you need to give positive negative value, because the value I want is opposite in direction of arrow. So I give -5 so that I can create these three entities. Okay, now the last thing that is now you can see the utility of both type of selection tool. Here with the help of right to left hidden rectangle type selection way, I can easily delete the entities, which really kind of messy if I am going to use this one. Now the last option is loop. Loop, as name suggests, will create an offset of entities of a whole loop. Again, I want a loop outside this entity, so I will be entering again the value in negative. So it is quite easy, I would say. Now most of the guys they got confused in case of Thicken, which we're gonna be discussing now. Like what is difference between offset and Thicken. This is the line, and now we will see. For example, this is the line and I want to provide a thickness to this line. Now here, oh my god, I have chosen only a single entity, a line segment. Okay, no problem. So I'm gonna use single. Now it is asking me to provide me thickness of the line. Okay, so let us suppose the thickness is 10, and now I need to provide the value of offset in the direction of arrow. Let's say let's make it asymmetric so that I can make you understand. 1.5, and now you can see our total thickness is 10. This was our original line, and you can see that the thickness is the total thickness is 10, and we have created it like this, the value we have provided. Okay, now I'm gonna show you this with another example. Let's say, for example, I don't want open caps, I want a flat cap. Now same option, total 10, and in direction of arrow 1.5, and here we go. So now you can see the difference. Our ends are now flat and closed. They are not open. Now the last option we will see, circular. Again same 10 and 1.5. And now this time you can see our ends are again close, but this time with the help of circle or a semicircle. Now this time let's make a rectangle. Okay, again we can do same thing with it. Now this time we can select chain or loop, depends on our case. So I'm just directly selecting the loop. If you have got any problem with chain, then you can ask. Now this time circular or flat. I don't think so anyone will be applicable because this thing is complete loop, so leave it as it is. And now we need to provide thickness, for example 10, and in direction of arrow 1.5, and here we go, again the same thing, so we can understand like how this thing works. So I hope like now we can create difference, we can understand the difference between both two. Now the next thing is centerline. We use centerline whenever we want to create a symmetry or I want to mirror something. There are two centerline, so most of the people also have doubt like why we have got two types of centerline, why we have got two types of points, why we have got two types of coordinate system. So I would say these are implicit. Implicit means we can use them only inside my sketch, while these are the geometry type, centerline, point and coordinate system which we can use outside our sketch. We're gonna be seeing with the help of different examples, but as of now, okay, I will show you what we can use with the help of centerline. We can create this kind of thing, any entity, and you can see it is symmetric along my centerline. If I delete my centerline, no more symmetry. But if we have got centerline, now you can see the value changes both sides equally because this thing is symmetric. But if I delete this, then you can see we need to specify one more value. Also, if you want to mirror something from one side to another side, we're going to be discussing about mirror later on. I just wanted to show you some of the utility of centerline so that we can finish our sketching group. I also will make you aware of the terms that we use in Creo, like I will make you more and more familiar with the interface. Basically this thing is known as group. This is sketching group, this is our ribbon based interface, and this thing is one group, and like this one is datum group, another group, and we currently are working sketch tab and under sketching group. And now the last option is palette. You click on palette and you can see we have got several predefined shape. We even can save our own shape. I will show it to you later on, but right now we have got polygons and profile. We have got some very commonly used profile like C profile or I profile. You just click on it and place it directly, and you can move. You can provide scale like this, and you can also rotate them according to your requirement. I don't want to make it much more complicated. We can also use these tools like point reprints, and we can move it with the help of other entities. But as of now, we are just talking about these one because these are most commonly used. Okay, so in that way we can create other geometry as well. I guess this video is becoming too long, so I would like to quit this video here, and this also end our sketching group. And in our next video, we're gonna be talking about editing, constraint, dimension. And I hope guys you have enjoyed my video. If yes, then you can subscribe to my channel. If you have got any query and question, you can put them in comment. And if you want to support my channel, then you can support me in Patreon as well. So thank you guys. In my next video, we will be talking about constraint, dimension, inspect, and datums which we have left, and we also will talk about construction mode. Thank you and bye bye.